Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'll be doing a review of the Hernandez Boxing Gloves. So stay tuned.
Uber up the styles like miles and shit. Like 60s funky worms with waves and perms. Just sending junkie.
Alright guys, so I got these Hernandez Boxing Gloves, 14 ounce of Velcro closure. I wanted to give you guys a good close-up of these gloves because there's a couple flaws I found with these. So this portion of the video is going to be a little bit longer than my typical review. Before we actually do the close-up, let's check out the weight of these gloves. I'm going to put it on the scale to see how much they weigh. And the right glove is right at 14.3. This left glove is right at 14.4. So weight-wise, they're pretty consistent and they're not too far off their advertised 14 ounce weight. So that's really nice to see. Now looking at the glove, these gloves are made in Mexico. They're made in small batches by Hernandez. They're a really small company that you can reach through Instagram and their Facebook. They do not have a website. And they're not a commercially sold glove, so they're a little bit harder to get a hold of. But the leather they use is really nice, high quality. You can see kind of a close-up of it. But the stitching and the overall craftsmanship has a lot to be desired. You can see I got mine in the red, black, silver color scheme. This does come with that newer style triple color thumb design. But one thing you probably noticed already is how off the thumbs are. So the left glove, you can see just the actual placing of the thumb is in a really weird spot. It almost feels like when I put my hand in the glove, I have my thumb is almost like this, and it's just super awkward. I used these gloves for only a couple of rounds, and I couldn't do it anymore because of how uncomfortable they were. But you can see how much shorter and at a wrong angle. It's almost like this thumb is tweaked at a really weird angle, and you can actually see it right here. It just looks shorter than the right side thumb. So it's just really weird in that respect, really uncomfortable. The right side is a little bit better and it's a little bit more parallel and a little bit more comfortable, but it should be a little bit higher up towards the fingertips to get your hand in a better position. So those are some flaws. The other things I found with this looking up close is the stitching could be done a lot better. You can see where it's kind of crooked right here, kind of just drops down low near the piping. Some of the stitching is kind of coming loose right there. Another area I noticed is it has this little extra piece of leather that's stuck, a welted leather on the welted seam right here. It's almost like, I don't know if they just jammed that in there because they were trying to plug a hole or do something, but you have this little extra piece right here. That's just, I don't know why they have it right there. And then on the other side, you can see where the stitching is kind of ripping right through the leather. They just didn't do a very good job of pushing that through. The metallic actually looks really good. It's nice and shiny. It has a really nice supple feel to the metallic leather. You do have ventilated holes right there. The Velcro strap looks really good. The leather quality is really nice. I do like the silver piping around the Velcro strap. You know, on the back side here, you do have the Hernandez logo that's patched and attached there to the back of the Velcro strap. But, you know, just more threads coming off. And overall craftsmanship could definitely be better. Another thing you can see here too with this right side is the glove isn't very level. It almost kind of tweaks inwards on that side. Same thing with this glove, it's a little tweaked foam wise. And there's also a little cut that I actually did. This is not a flaw on their part, this is my fault. I actually was cutting the box open and like an idiot, I grazed the upper layer of the letter. It didn't actually go all the way through, but you can still see the mark, so that was my bad big time there. But in any event, yeah, I just think those little flaws with these gloves just really make it hard to use these and be comfortable with them. So on to the review. Hey, what's up guys, Carlo here. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the Hernandez 14 ounce Velcro training gloves. As you can see, I got mine in the red, black, and metallic silver color scheme. Hernandez is a smaller based mom and pop company based out of Mexico that makes these gloves in small batches, and they sell their gloves mainly through Instagram and through Facebook. They do not currently, from what I've seen, don't have an actual website or a web store that they sell these from. I personally purchased these gloves from Mexican Boxing Gloves through Instagram. But outside of that, you might be able to find some independent retailers that sell this, but they're pretty hard to find just because of how small they are. The actual gloves themselves, the probability of you having the same gloves as somebody else is probably low too as well, because they make them in small amounts and the gloves that they do make are often different from each other. So you, both from a color, a size, and a closure perspective. You know, some of them are lace-up Velcro. You might have a 10, 12, 14, or 16-ounce glove, and obviously the different colors and styles that they offer. So from a design standpoint, you can see here that the glove actually has more of a compact profile, which I like. I'm a fan of more compact gloves. If I were to compare it to any other glove that I've done a review in the past on, I would say that these are more similar to the new Sportings, but a little bit more compact. They have a little bit more stockier profile, especially for a 14-ounce glove. You know, I've seen a lot of Mexican gloves in the past, like Reyes and Casanova, where the gloves themselves are pretty big. They're longer. They have a little bit wider of a hand compartment, where these are definitely more compact. You can see that it has that Hernandez Champs patch that's stitched onto the back of the Velcro strap. You do have that nice silver piping that goes around the Velcro, so I like that added touch that I put there. You do have the 14-ounce weight tag right there, so you can see that the Velcro strap goes all the way around. The inside liner is a soft canvas liner. That's pretty typical with a lot of Mexican style gloves. You can see that it has about an inch of latex foam on the inside of the hand compartment. This is a full leather construction. You can see that it has the metallic silver on the inner part of the thumb with the ventilated holes, and then it has the triple thumb design, which was actually first came out with a long time ago. There was years ago. Ringside had the Invicto line that were made in Mexico that used that triple stripe design that Grant now uses. But you can see it has the black, metallic silver, and red on the triple thumb. And that's pretty much it from a design standpoint. These gloves, there's not really much to them to designate a Hernandez product outside of the tag on the back. Also, you do have a medium-sized grip guard and a leather attached thumb right there. Now, these gloves use about a 2-inch layer of latex on the inside of the glove. So the latex is really good for feedback, a decent amount of protection with these gloves in particular. But the quality of these gloves is where I find is the biggest opportunity, where it lacks the most, especially for a Mexican brand. Typically, Mexican brands you run into, you usually have a high level of craftsmanship, attention to detail, and I found that these gloves lack that. And I showed you guys that earlier in the close-up videos of this glove. The main thing being the left glove right here, having a thumb that's off. You can see that the placement of the thumb is way off. It's too far down and out. So it caused me to have a lot of discomfort. I wasn't really able to use these gloves very much because of that. And it really causes my thumb to be off. So making a fist with these gloves is really awkward. It's really tight right here where the padding, or should I say where the piping is at. And because of how tight that is, with hand wraps on, it feels really snug and just uncomfortable. And my thumb jams at the top here because of how far out this glove or this thumb is. The finger placement is okay. I feel like it could be deeper. I feel like the finger compartment is a little bit on the shallow side. And then the ergonomics of my hand being in the glove is really off. So I feel that the quality of that is really a huge opportunity. You can also see that the stitching isn't the best right there. It looks like they kind of pulled through on the leather. The welted seams are also done kind of poorly. You can see that the way they cut the leather on the welted seams looks pretty jagged. On the other glove, there was a big chunk that I showed you in the close-up video that was stitched in there that just looked really awkward. But you can see the actual stitching and the actual seams are done pretty bad. You can see like a little holes in the leather right there. And it feels like they use maybe like a pair of shears or scissors when they cut it, when they cut that, and it just gives it these weird lines and angles in there that doesn't look smooth at all. The actual leather is great. I like the quality of the leather, and the metallic silver looks really good. So I like the leather. It has a nice suppleness to it. It feels really thick. They did a nice job of packing the leather into the fingertips. The welted seams on the outer edge looks pretty good. The stitching is something that has a little opportunity too, on both gloves. The stitching, especially on the palm side right here, that circles around the inner palm piping, is kind of crooked, and there's some threads that are coming out. One other thing I noticed is this Velcro patch right here. You can see it has kind of a lip to it, so it's raised up. And this is, again, something with an attention to detail. You can see right there that there's some glue marks right there. So I feel like they could have done a lot better job of stitching that in, or bringing the Velcro all the way over to the corner and integrating it into the actual welted seam of the glove, rather than having this little lip right here, as well as on this top part where the hinge point is. So the overall quality could definitely be improved. The other thing is on the inside hand compartment, it's very crooked. The actual latex foam, the way it sits against your hand, feels really crooked. I felt like there's a lot more room towards my index finger knuckle, and then as I moved over to where my pinky is, it almost feels like the inner foam is not level. So it sits almost like this on your hand rather than flush against it. So if I were to show you the foam, you want it to kind of rest up nicely against your knuckle when you put your hand in there. That way when you punch, you get an even feeling. With this, I felt it was a little off, so where you have a little bit of a gap between your index knuckle and the foam. And that's probably the best way I could describe that. So the quality of glove definitely has a lot of opportunity, the comfort as well. One other thing you notice when you put these gloves on is that this opening right here on the palm side, this piece of elastic pretty much doesn't do anything. And that's the whole purpose of it, so you can kind of keep this inner piping together and kind of keep the leather together. And because the proportions of the gloves are messed up, it's not able to do that, and this elastic strap should be tighter so it keeps this together, and it just doesn't really serve any purpose other than just being stitched in there. The fingertip feels okay. Again, it just needs to be deeper, and it has a nice piece of felt on the inside fingertip, so I like that they use that. But my biggest issue is the foam is inconsistent on the inside in the way it rests up against your hand. Now the protection and performance of the gloves are actually really nice, which I really like. I like the actual density of this latex foam that they use. You can see that it has a medium density to it, so it's not too soft, but it's not too stiff or dense as well. So you can use this for all kinds of training in your gym. If you're going to use these for the bag, for the mitts, for sparring, this is a good all-around glove. I would say that this foam is very similar to Grant in the fact that it gives you the level of protection that you want, but you also get a nice crack out of that. So this is the big selling point of these gloves is the kind of foam that they use. It feels really nice and medium density with the latex. So I was able to get a really good crack out of the bag with these without sacrificing power and protection, which I really like. And now cost of these gloves, I've signed out anywhere from $120 to $140, just depending on where you're getting from. There's several factors that go into the pricing. Obviously size, the color scheme that you decide to get, the kind of closure you get will all factor into that. But you can expect to spend anywhere from $120 to $140 for these kind of gloves. And I'll make sure to put where I found these gloves through Mexican Boxing Gloves, as well as the link for the Hernandez Champs Instagram and their Facebook as well if you want to reach out to them. So if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you guys leave them down below in the comments box. I'll put the link in the description box where you can find these gloves, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.